Immigrants are being given jobs of authority over whites. Within the last couple of months, I've been seeing a real push in our society for the influx of Islamists and Pakistanis. I've been noticing they are flooding the security field, where almost every shop now has a Pakistani man standing at the front of it. Where have all the white and black security guards gone? I saw something in my local precinct last week where there was 3 security guards, 2 being from Pakistan, carrying multiple bags of shopping for one black man. Could there be a local hideout for illegal immigrants locally, I thought, and this was shopping for them. As the influx of multinationals has increased in my local area exponentially in the last 2 months, the area was predominantly white and some black. And I am asking, and mostly mixed race as well, and I am asking the question whether private security services are being used to accommodate these illegal migrants into the UK. Also, I've been seeing advertising campaigns with Pakistanis in boots in the local area again, and Halifax this week, with large posters of Pakistanis again on them, which kind of follows the narrative from last week with the Coventry Transport Museum placing cardboard cutouts amongst exhibits made by mainly the history of the indigenous peoples of the UK. It almost feels like it's being done to agitate people. Immigrants have taken over the corner shops, the taxi industry, security, evening shop stocking, buses, in key positions where what white people are left are beneath them. And this has happened within the last few months aggressively. And I noticed there's quite a lot, almost like 90% in the catering industry as well, like McDonald's and stuff like that. It obviously hurt. I have been, like white people actually been under them now. So I know that this is a false narrative, and I don't hold anything personally against any Pakistani unless they're like pretty rude towards me. But as I've said, that generally they can be quite rude. I've seen this new influx of migrants in the local area. Some are in nice cars walking out of the houses that would be considered middle class, and these people, they don't speak English, they've just come from somewhere, I don't know where they've come from. And new builds as well. Where are the council finding this accommodation? I was told I could not move years ago as I'm adequately housed in a 1970s rundown masonette, which is a total dump. That is of ill repair. That is literally falling apart. I cannot move or swap with another resident unless they are of equal squalor. And like as I said in previous videos, when I tried to get onto the housing ladder, it was literally impossible. So how are these people actually getting into these houses? And again, like if you're from the local area, it's a bit of a kick in the teeth, like being handed out to people that are foreigners. A lot of Pakistanis also own a lot of the private housing stock in the area too, and charge very high prices, so your average person cannot afford it, like myself. They mainly rent out like single rooms and stuff like that, and I know that there's a lot of land in the area that's owned by some of them. We have been told that there are no school places, there are limited doctors' appointments, the NHS is about to collapse. Where are they getting the funding to suddenly have a massive influx of people from foreign lands to accommodate all these people, with their medical needs and such? This is obviously a deliberate narrative that's been pushed by the globalists to have an underhanded open borders policy. A few years ago, I wanted to move to another country, but I would have to have a guaranteed job and a resident there and have a particular salary threshold to even get out of this country. So why does one rule apply to one set of people and another to another set of people we know nothing about? I think the clash of interests is to bring about chaos into the country. There is talk about Sharia law that could be imposed on the nation. After all, the man influx of now Pakistani MPs are in your face everywhere now. I had a pile of leaflets this week with one white Labour candidate. As I say, this is a false narrative, this ain't natural. This ain't, I think some of the migrants are genuine, and I think there's a lot of them that have been probably trained up or psychologically prepared for this takedown of the UK. I just know it, and I don't blame people on an individual level. I just want to get to the crux of it, and there usually are crux. Where are the white employees now during the pandemic? This great virus. I saw a lot of locals lose their jobs, never to pick the work up again, and many shops and businesses have suffered and gone into receivership due to it. These were your traditional old English traditional shops, when life was sensible and stuff like that, and like a ruler was a ruler and a pencil was a pencil. It seemed like that exercise was a way to wipe out the old and to bring in the new, to break the old Britannia down, never to return again. So where have all the white employees gone? Did they die during COVID? Are they at home on benefits, under positive discrimination if they apply for a job? It's pretty suspicious. We know the globalists do not want us to have national sovereignty, and I've heard stories about like some of the Uber drivers who are like piggybacking people, genuine employees and stuff like that. So the one person gets twice the pay, like stuff like that, like illegal practices by unscrupulous companies. That could be a way that they're actually ushering in to stay. And there's all sorts of screwy things going on, I think, for some of these immigrants to permanently stay. Now, I'm not saying that all the above to cause trouble with migrants, but I want to know how these people are being monopolised to be in a position to take advantage of the British citizen, whether that be of any race. But I do believe that the white person is now the new black person, and there are outside forces that are criminally using certain channels to infiltrate our country for their own agenda, which is one world state, and mixing up the races is their aim until otherwise, until it suits them, as I said earlier in some of the other videos, which I know comes back to the sources like George Soros and the Rothschilds. I know that that's just like an obvious thing, that there's obviously a lot of backdoor things going on all the way down the line. They do not care for our national heritage or the blood that was paid for keeping this island safe of past and present, or even our Christian history. We've got a lot of history. Keir Starmer, who will be the most useless of useless leaders. This Labour government, I think, will be one of the last, and they're all predicting that he's going to come in. He's a global puppet and does everything the globalists want him to do. He has nothing to do with national sovereignty. He will be the ultimate nail in this country, the last Labour government to be such a weak and woke walkover. I think then the government will be handed over to the globalists after that, because it's becoming utterly ridiculous now, and the chaos, will just like eclipse them, I think. And I pity him for this time, because I know something pretty ugly's coming, and woe betide them, I think. And the globalist cabal are getting more and more forthcoming with who they are. The ridiculous is in your face. That's why I say in like previous videos, if you think it's ridiculous or it doesn't ring right with your spirit, do something about it. Like write to your MP. Like the more voices that are speaking up, the more they're likely to back off. but it is criminal, and there's a lot of barbed wire in this country with bad people and stuff, and like globalist agendas. We must stop this globalist takeover by stopping the criminal influx of slow creeping totalitarianism. And also it puts back years of bridging the gap between British multiculturalism. I saw the times of like the Handsworth riots and stuff like that. We've got more in common than what you think, and like what I've said in like earlier videos, even to the Pakistanis and stuff like that, like watch how you're being used. Like this country's a good country, and if anywhere multiculturalism could work, or does work here, it's under Christianity, because it's got the mercy seat on its heart and stuff like that. It's polite, it's slow to anger. Like everything in the Bible is there. And also, like with V2K this week, I've been like totally crushed. Like you can see the stress on my neck and my face. Some of it's like sun, but like my breathing's been restricted and stuff like that, and it feels very dark because like my head feels like a crushed sandwich. But just following God and just walking foot by foot. And this V2K is definitely part of this globalist agenda, to capture people by their brain frequency and like torture them, into submission. They want people who are on the low end, they want them to look to the floor. They want handlers that like want to mess around with them and make fools of them and humiliate them until they see fit they want you to die, which is what they're trying to do with me. So like I'm getting tortured every day with sorcery that's actually limiting my breathing, and like brain frequency stuff that's like I feel like I'm being crushed. It's just hard to explain, but there's a lot of people in the V2K, targeted individuals by the services, like security services, that are going through this, and I'm playing my part in bringing this globalist order down, and there's many other people that are doing it as well. So those who stand with Christ will win in this, because it's already been done at the cross. Okay, that's it for now. Bye.